Alrighty, let's get stuck in. I'm going to spend an hour tonight. This is the kind of work that I'm probably not going to finish or expect to finish, but I'm just going to have a crack, see how far I get, and go from there. What we're working on is our classless system. So each class has an ability domain. In fact, what I might do real quick, if I can get into it. Yes, here we go. So I've got this classless system that I'm working on. And that classless system let's try that. There we go. That classless system, who cares? So that classless system has itself a concept of different domains. So sniper, CQB, rifle, pistols, etc., etc. And then inside those, there's a bunch of abilities. So these ones I'm considering as ones that come with the weapon. So like, we're not really worrying about that just yet. But then we've got a bunch of abilities that don't come with the weapon. These are called competencies. And these are abilities that you'll learn over the course of combat experience or training with that weapon. Then expertise requires at the very minimum some level of combat experience, and then you can also get trained so that you need less combat experience in order to get it. And then finally, lockdown target is an example of a mastery ability. So there's one ability right at the end of the tree, and well, they're not really a tree, it's more like a pathway. But they get to the end of that pathway and you'll get some sort of ability that reflects a mastery of that particular weapon, and there will ideally be some level of crossover. So if you can be a master of a particular thing, that will help you with other abilities. So, and this will be combined with sort of a standard veterancy tree, which is like the standard XP model that that XCOM already uses. But what we're doing is adding sort of an experience-based one. So every soldier comes with the ability to use all of these weapons, but then they can become what you would call confident with that weapon by using they can become competent with that weapon by using. They become competent with that weapon by using it in correct context, and then become better at that weapon. So that way you can hopefully build out your own sort of classes as you need to, but if you need to force them into a situation where they're using a sniper rifle because it's just what the thing demands, then that's just the way the cookie crumbles. And hopefully what this will avoid is situations where you end up with just based on the roll of the dice and the fact that you just haven't got the right troops in place, you just have to field certain weapons that you absolutely do not want to field in certain circumstances. That's what we're trying to avoid, but also allow you to sort of give a bit of more individuality to each different soldier. Even though these are single line trees, because you can explore them in lots of different ways, pair different secondaries with different primaries. I'm hoping that there'll be enough variance there, especially once we start looking into Gremlin as a more of a support aspect rather than a damage dealer in its own right. But anyway, that's enough about that. So what we want to work on right now is we're going to look at building out a UI for the Armory main menu. And I'm going to use as the primary inspiration / ripped off code aspect of this will come from Long War, namely the officer approach, the way they built the officer. So I am just going to get that officer. Kind of sad that I remember the IDs for XCOM and for Long War off by heart, so I don't even need to check. Alright, so under the source, we're looking at the officer pack integrated. So all their various packs they brought in to use them in their own right. So what we have is we have ourselves a listener, and I believe this has been deprecated, but let me just double check that. Yep, so that was deprecated, and what they did instead, what I'll do is I'll drop back to source, edit this with Vim, and that'll give me a way to search around. Alright. So, let's look for particular file. Let me see what it was called again. It's UI Armory. Yeah, UI Armory. Mac. UI personnel. LW. No, it's UI Armory, I believe. Maybe not. I think I got it wrong. What was it? I'll look at the listener again. So that is Armory main menu. Armory main menu. So essentially, what the Long War team did in the Highlander is they added a little listener that allows you to sort of insert elements into the UI without having to completely mess things up with it. So I just need to remind myself where exactly they put that promotion aspect. Because I had a look around for this the other day, and I did in fact find it, but I'm just having trouble finding it right now. Ah, there we go. So it's in the UI Screen Listener Officer Pack. Here we go. So we have this Add Armory main menu item. And that is in this screen listener. Here we go. So UI Screen Listener Long War Officer Pack. And cause every screen to trigger its signals on this class. Huh. I would have thought it'd been less grabby than that, but we'll take this as a template just to start off with. Alright, let's get started. So we'll start off with our source operative classes. Alright, so UI Screen Listener, Geo Weapon. Sorry, we'll make it ability domains. Make it sort of a generic ability domains screen listener. I do know you can do that. I do to a degree want to learn myself. Sorry, I'm talking to RoboJumper. I know no one really watches these streams other than RoboJumper, but anyway. I know you can do fancy UI and stuff like that. To a degree, if you were to do it, I would really prefer to learn to a degree myself. Like, you probably know from previous chats I've had, like my background is in UI, like on web UIs and stuff like that. So I get how to build UIs in lots of different ways in a web context, and like I feel like to a degree those skills are surely transferable, but it's just understanding how this sort of code needs me to behave in order to make it work. Okay, so yeah, like I do appreciate the offer, but I do to a degree, as I said, just wanna sort things out for myself as well a bit before I really dive into to getting help for that sort of thing. But to a degree, let me grab my book. Like, I have an idea of what I want, but gotta build it eventually. Oh, hell. Putting it on the camera is no good, see? You can see it, but only a bit. But either way, I'm going to have all the domains and then all the icons across, and then I want a bar for showing the training aspect of it and stuff like that. But we will get there. First, I literally just want to figure out how everything works together. And it's intriguing how much they've commented there. So let's just delete all of it. Alright, this is all cool. We just want the on Armory main menu update, I believe. Just for now. That's interesting. One removed. Yeah, good point. Yeah, good point. Yeah, absolutely. If we can just make this work without that aspect of things, although things are loaded a bit differently in Wavecom, we've already got a few things going on, but maybe it just works. I don't know. We had to do a bunch of overrides to make Wavecom work in the loadout respect. Well, we'll see. You never know. Things might surprise us. Alright, we'll probably grab that on the Armory main menu. Anyway, so add Armory. Oops. Alright, so let's have a look at the add Armory main menu function. It's a whole bunch of noise there that we're not going to be using directly. Leader ability button. Weapon abilities button. better start up that, what's it called, localization file. String. I'm pretty sure, yeah, int files are different, just a little different. All right. All right. Sorry, one moment. Hey, buddy. Maybe swap the bits that are plugged in because it's coming out in the speakers, so it's quite loud. Yeah, that would be why. Because we were hearing it all. Do you want me to help you set it up? Alright, back to it. Alright, well, we're going with a always show approach. And what is it? A weapon abilities button. And that is going to be default dot string weapon abilities menu text. I don't really have to guess too hard what the word caps means. On selection changed. Is that a local delegate? List button info at bottom of the screen. Oh, okay, yep. Okay, well, let's roll with that as well. Yeah, man. Like, I don't even know why you suggested breaking the Avenger as a thing. Like, don't even suggest it. Like, it was a mission to get Wavecom working, I tell you that. Mind you, it'll be a lot easier with a Highlander now, I can tell you that. Delegate chaining. Ah, that reminds me of callback wrapping, only it's a little uglier. Yeah, totally serious localization right here, right up in here. Okay, bind, dismiss, list item. Okay, I can probably depend on that. Some of these seems like things that could be made into a general helper setup, but anyway. There is a benefit to keeping this code encapsulated. Right. Well, in theory, that would work on its own, I think, if it compiles. So we'll give that a crack. Go from there. Oh, what do I do? Okay. Oh yeah, I saw that one you put in. Did that actually make it into anywhere in like visible production though? Honestly, I like having fun to a degree with lorem ipsum code. Just have a great old time. Just don't let it get into production. This will probably crash because I've done something wrong. This guy. I forgot to put the int file in anyway, so I'll build it a second time. It's got to feel awkward as hell. Developing before your data model is fixed. In our web design and development work, we always like aim for like fixing the data model and at least getting it largely nailed down in the first week. I mean, like obviously we're dealing with a much simpler problem. We find with like a lockdown data model, it's a lot easier to then couple the UI to that than to do something more complicated down the track. Build errors. Oh, I made a mistake. Who would have thunk it? Anyway, let's add that localization and then track down our dumb mistake. Okay, failed to find delegate function. On item selected, callback. Oh. Wait, is that a delegate that's listed in here? I didn't think it worked like that. But evidently it is. Guerrilla right here. Alright, try again. Leader ability button? Oh, I'll put that in there. I shouldn't have. Alright, yep, gotta fix that. Alright, weapon abilities button. And bad or missing expression after register for events. Huh. Why is that bad? Oh, B register for events is not a bull. How dumb. At least it's easy to fix. Alright. Alright, now let's try and run it. Might put you on Guerrilla Operative, and I might put small unit tactics and time grenades in there too. Just endeavouring to have as many things interacting at one time. Oh, and Battlefield Savior, why the hell not? Throw it on there. As an aside, really good work with yet another F1. It was a really, really nice bit of UI work. And to be honest, that's why I want to learn myself, because like I can see the way you're putting it together, that like, you know, with a good plan and a reasonable amount of focus, you can pretty much stamp out like a lot of cool stuff with just straight up code. You don't even need to access the Flash. All the elements are there. Because you've got debugged, that's right. You've got decompiled Flash, don't you? I need to sort that out now that I'm starting to take this a bit more seriously. I'm pretty sure I've asked that before. These tools are free, yeah? But either way, I need to dive in there and have a look. I agree, because that way I can do some testing locally, right? Like in situ, I guess, and just play with different variables. Please consider providing us with a directive as soon as possible. Baller, but I haven't got my thing. That was dumb. Okay. Okay, so the thing I want is I want to understand why this screen listener did not call. Alright, well I better check the on in it. Yeah, alright. Okay, let's have another crack. If this doesn't work, we'll see what exactly we're doing wrong. Free flash decompiler. Well, alright then. Let's jump in again. If I don't get anywhere on the code side, we'll at least have a look around with this FF decompiler. See what we can do with it. Let's put that over there. Okay, I agree. I agree. You've already praised X2's UI system a couple of times, man. I don't need to be convinced of its greatness. I just need to figure out how to harness it. Because it's what I've got.
Commander, the lab is currently idle. We're wasting valuable time and resources by not conducting any research. Please consider providing us with a directive as soon as possible.
on init. We get on init, but it never registers the listeners. Maybe it does, and I'm just not seeing it. Let's try and pull up the logs. Oh, it happens. Cannot find register events. It happens once, early. Maybe it never deconstructs itself though. If this is, like, if it doesn't have this is strategy. I might put the this is strategy stuff back in just to see if that's why it worked in this case. And I'll just have to figure out some different conditional magic words to make it work. Later, Robo. Okay. Alright, so we'll do that instead. Reset switch in tactical, so we re-register back in strategy. Yeah. We'll figure out a way to make this work eventually, but we'll see what happens here. Alright, well, we'll just try and get this working using the on-init. Let me just check something real quick. Last update strategy. Oh, so there's stuff. The last update strategy. Oh, I see. That's an old variable that they must have had to use at some point, but decided against using it for whatever reason, probably because they didn't need it anymore for their implementation. Anyway, let's give it another crack. So after this run around, I think we'll try and pull out the Flash movies. Have a look-see at them. Go.
While we prepare for new operations and continue our research, we can pass time by scanning at sites like this one. On your order, we'll start our scans on the surrounding area.
Alright, so we do need to a degree check which presentation layer we're in, but it's probably not going to be a strategy only check. It's going to be more like a strategy or tactical, but not shell, because I reckon shell would be fine. Yeah, shell is fine, but unless like it's an issue with registry of events. But we'll just stick with this tactical while we're still doing the UI work. But for the moment, I'm glad I know that works. Now it's time to extract those Flash movies and have a proper look in, I think. And just to be clear, I reckon this is one of those projects that's it's gonna take a little time for me to find my feet. But once I do, I can get back to feeling like I'm going to make real progress. But these sorts of projects, I'm not going to sit here for 3 hours smashing away. I prefer with these sorts of ones to just keep on ticking away, like 1 hour a night, that kind of thing. Because that way I can stay focused. And to be honest, I want to play some PUBG because I'm having a blast with that game right now, even though I'm not very good at it. Okay, so Flash movie. Give me all the Flash movies. Do I know some of the names of some of the Flash movies? I'm pretty sure I could find one. Let's go for UI Golden Path. Alert Golden Path. Where do I find me Flash, eh? Where is that at? Not seeing Flash here. Maybe I just have to look in the directory. Directories. Okay, XCOM, SDK, content. UI. Surely it's like UI 3D or something like that. Let's have a look at what's in there. What are all these things? Static meshes, they're not what I'm interested in. Yeah, all this stuff I'm not interested in. Bunches of images. More textures. No Flash. Should probably have asked him where to find this Flash before he headed off. Swift movies. Surely this is a hint. graphics anchored message manager. Oops, where did I put that? I shouldn't have put that over there. Anyway, so it's a bunch of GFX packages. Swift movie. Okay, yep. Okay, Swift. Alrighty, so we're looking for a type of not Flash, but Swift SWF. And we don't filter by package at all. So let's just say all packages. Alright. Yes, I do want to export them. I want to load them all because I want to bulk export to folder. Okay, and we want export groups to their own subdirectories. No, I don't need to do that. I told you not to do that. It doesn't matter. Okay. Did it actually export the files? Why are they exported as T3Ds? I want the Swift files. That good stuff, that SWF stuff. Alright, maybe if I rename them. I got this T3D stuff, but anyway. I don't care. Alright, let's now try and open, say, this research report. Valid SWF file, wrong signature. What am I doing wrong? Probably everything. Let's just try and do one, hey? Export to file. Let's just call it that, and then it's open with ffdeck. Nope. Source file, XCOM game flash. Oh, okay, that might help us. How do I get this source file? It intimates that there is a thank you, sir. Alright, so the default extractor won't do it. The default exporter won't do it, but that will. Okay. Thank you, sir. Alright, let's go grab them. Looking at XCOM, SDK, XCOM game content, XCOM2 packages graphics. Alright, well hopefully we end up with some decompiled flash in about as long as it takes to download this this scripting, this extractor running thing. Come on now. Cool. There's the destination it's set in there. Alright then. Alright, so we've got quick BMS. Chuck it in there. And that would be of a download, which is Then select the input files. Did anything work there? Oh, ostensibly we got a few things. Okay. Graphics gamepad icons. Common assets. We have to grab that as well. Maybe I should have done the whole lot. Let's try this again. Do that, extract from XCOM SDK. We'll do all of them this time. And the output folder is documents for access, export SWF. Alright, overwrite to all files without asking. It's starting to come into place, but the question is can we get a look at the whole lot? Let's see if we can get something else, like wonder what would be good. Maybe some of the mission screens. Copy font lib to a new folder that is not required. Actual scripts are in script packages. Someone who has no experience with Flash, looking at, may as well be looking at Greek. It'd be great to see the whole assembly is the main thing. Flash projector not found. Oh, I need myself a flash projector. That would explain why. Not possible? Okay. So, while I can look at the code, I can't see how it all comes together. Or rather, I can't like play around with seeing the whole thing and just go, oh yeah, great. That's how it works. Let's pick a simpler component, hey? Let's look at, pick a simpler component. You go away. Background box in GFX components. Works for me. Components. Right. Register class X2 background panel. Is that in packages as well? This is starting to get a bit more. Okay, I can start to see things now. There we go, we've got a background panel with a scaling grid. BG fill, top lines, bottom lines. Yeah, right, so you can start to see a little more depth in how it's doing things. It's assembling things, so potentially you can get at those objects, which are named. Right, I see. Yeah, so by having access to these names, we can start to do whatever the heck we want. Shame I can't edit it here, but I get it, sort of. Alright, I'll just have to spend some time with it, maybe flesh some stuff out, go from there. Alright, thanks for that anyway. It's been my hour, so I'm gonna finish off, but yeah, that'll give us some food for thought as we go into actually implement some designs, finish off some of my wireframes that I'm drawing and go from there. Alrighty, well that'll do for tonight. Not a whole lot achieved, but a bit learned, and we'll go from there. Take it easy.